Hey guys, Keaton here from TechSmart, and today we'll be comparing the all-new HTC One, also known as the M8, to the original HTC One, also known as the M7. Before we hop on into this comparison, if you guys would like to win a brand new Samsung Galaxy S5 or the all-new HTC One, go ahead and drop me a comment down below, and while you're at it, hit the thumbs up button, and I'll be announcing the winners on Twitter, so go ahead and check the description box for the full details. So without further ado, let's go and dive into this comparison. So up first, let's go and talk about hardware and specifications. The original HTC One rocks a 4.7-inch 1080p LCD display with a pixels per inch count of 468. At the top, there's a 2.1 megapixel front-facing camera and a speaker, and towards the bottom is our buttons and the other speaker. At the right, there's volume rockers, and to the left, there's a SIM card slot. To the bottom of the phone, there's a microphone and micro USB charging port. At the top, there's a 3.5mm headphone jack and a sleep-wake switch. Popping out immediately, there's a 4 ultra-pixel camera and an LED. Hopping over to the all-new HTC One, it has a 5-inch 1080p Full HD display with a pixels per inch count of 440. At the top, there's a 5-megapixel front-facing camera, and right next to that is the top speaker. And towards the bottom of the phone, there's the other front-facing speaker. At the right of the device is the volume rockers and SIM card slot, and towards the left is a micro SD card slot for expandable storage. At the top is an IR blaster and the sleep-wake switch, and towards the bottom is a 3.5mm headphone jack and micro USB charging port. Moving to the back of the phone is where the majority of the features lie. At the top we have a duo camera, which features a 4 ultra-pixel camera as the main shooter, and a dual LED flash. To polish out the remaining specifications, the all-new HTC One has a quad-core 2.3 GHz Snapdragon 801 chip, 2GB of RAM, HTC Boom Sound, also known as the front-facing speakers, Android 4.4.2, HTC Sense 6, the Adreno 330 GPU, a 2600 mAh battery, NFC, and LTE. As for the original HTC One, it is a quad-core Snapdragon 600 processor clocked in at 1.7 GHz, 2GB of RAM, the Adreno 320 GPU, 2300 mAh battery, Android 4.4.2, HTC Sense 5 at the time of this recording, NFC, and LTE. Build quality is very similar, as both the M8 and M7 feature aluminum construction, but the M8 has more of a polished look to it. Instead of a rectangular design found on the M7, the M8 has rounded edges, giving it a more comfortable and premium feel. Nonetheless, the aluminum on both phones really goes to show how far HTC wants to go with build quality, and they've knocked it out of the park with their latest edition. Diving into software, the all-new HTC One features Android 4.4.2 with Sense 6.0, while the original HTC One features Android 4.4.2 with Sense 5.0. Starting off with the original HTC One, Sense 5.0 is a refreshing experience. It's flat out different, and it was fun to use daily. Blink feed cannot go untalked about, as it is a new way to consume your media with Flipboard and other RSS feeds. HTC Zoe is a fantastic feature within the camera, and I just felt that the software towards the camera was fun. The icons are all laid out and gives the user a comfortable experience without getting confusing like other skins available today. So while this jazz is cool, the all-new HTC One features Blink feed 2.0, and it's snappy and fast. It's not like we haven't seen Blink feed before, as it was shown last year on the original HTC One, but it works better, and more features are offered than ever before. HTC Zoe is stellar because it also allows you to share with others what you see now and what you are capturing at that specific moment, and alongside with the dual cameras, it just makes it that much better. As for the HTC One or M7, HTC Sense 5.0 is still fantastic. In the app menu, apps can be viewed in alphabetical order or can be adjusted to the most recently used. Widgets also look marvelous, and just the entire design looks fantastic. Overall, it's hard to compare the new to the old, but HTC Sense 6 runs very well and adds to some of the lacking qualities found in Sense 5. As for the display, both look superb. The original HTC One boasts a 4.7-inch 1080p LCD, while the all-new HTC One features a 5-inch 1080p LCD display. The original one displays content in a lovely fashion, and colors on both devices are spot on. 4.7 inches is far from the tiny iPhone 5S display that I use on a daily basis, and I think the intuitive qualities of the software add to the performance and just offer a stellar platform to consume media. While the 4.7-inch display on the One is nice, the all-new HTC One's 5-inch display looks even better. Both displays here crush it, but now your content has never looked so good than before. Cameras on both smartphones have become a specialty because they take a different approach. Instead of hopping on the megapixel bandwagon, HTC has created ultra pixels which allow more light in for each photo, which is very vital for those low light shots. The original one possesses a 4 ultra-pixel camera which works phenomenally well. Low light shots look great, but the shots where lots of light is let in is truly where this phone shines. HTC Zoe and other software features add to the experience as well, and the 2.1 megapixel front-facing camera found in the original one is great for selfies and Snapchat too. Selfie mode and Pan 360 are among my favorite features on the M8, and I've actually shared many of the panorama shots because they look so damn good. Similarly, the all-new HTC One has a 5 megapixel front-facing camera which looks a hell of a lot better in selfie mode or using Snapchat on the One. As for the rear-facing cameras, the all-new HTC One boasts the duo camera feature, which really makes the photos come to life. Being able to refocus photos after they've been taken makes it a great feature. The low light performance has improved as well, and is most definitely a step up from the M7. The M7 rocks a single camera which contains ultra pixels, and photos don't lack either. The performance is still great like the M8, but if you put them side to side and analyze the differences, it's not too hard to see which one is better. In the end, I think the camera edition on the M8 along with the new software makes it worth the leap to a new phone. Moving on to benchmarks, we'll be testing Geekbench, GFX Bench, and Antutu to give a nice well-rounded score of how both phones can perform. After the test has run its course, these are the following scores that we received for the all-new HTC One and the original HTC One. Battery life has always been a big gripe for any smartphone. The HTC One fell victim to this notion as the 2300 mAh battery couldn't hold up for too long. Luckily, the all-new HTC One fixes this and gives you a longer duration on a single charge. After my testing, I received around 5 to 6.5 hours on the M7 and 7 to 8.5 hours on the M8. While there are methods to conserve battery life, I typically don't hold back. I was tweeting periodically and watching videos throughout my tests, and I'd conclude that the M8 could hold me out for a day's worth of use with the 2600 mAh battery that it has. As for my favorite portion of the video, it's the new features. On the HTC M7, we saw a bunch. From the ultra pixel beginning to Sense 5 to HTC Zoe, the features within gave a new sight towards smartphones. I'd conclude that it put HTC on the map for making a smartphone that can be high quality and different. Previously, manufacturers made their handsets out of plastic and similar materials, but HTC went with aluminum, which sparked everyone's eye. Alongside with the front-facing speakers and Beats audio once found on the HTC M7, it really did sound fantastic. Until this day, I cannot find a better experience in a speaker on a smartphone that sounds as good as the HTC M7s or the M8s. Now onto the big brother here, the HTC M8 improves on everything the M7 did and more. The screen is bigger and the cameras are better. Seriously, the cameras are a big selling point, and I love being able to fire off photos and then refocus if needed. HTC Sense 6 and BlinkFeed 2.0 expands the same attributes we know and love on the HTC M7. On top of that, the build quality is even better with the rounded edges and aluminum appeal that it has. Boom sound, or also known as the front-facing speakers, sounds better on the HTC M8, and although it's a feature that does consume battery life, it's most definitely worth it. Watching YouTube videos or just watching a movie has never sounded so good. Overall, I think the new features show us how HTC has innovated from a past phone to a handset that can truly compete with the big smartphone giants today. In the end, both smartphones are great, and I'd recommend them to two types of different consumers. For the consumer that wants a smartphone that is great, has great features, and that doesn't lack in build quality, the original HTC One is for you. The software and camera experience is one of my favorites and is second to the vanilla Android experience found on a Nexus or Google Play Edition device. Pricing starts at free to $199 on a 2-year contract depending on your carrier, and is available in various colors starting with Glacial Silver, Stealth Black, and other colors like blue and red depending on the carrier of your choice. On the other side of the coin, the all-new HTC One is meant for the consumer who wants a speedy device and a lot of new additions to the table. From the camera to the improved speakers to the bigger display, this phone truly flies off the table. Micro SD card expansion is a big thing for me, and now that it's available, you don't have to give the carrier any more money and can just get the base model. The 5-inch display is seriously nice, and the phone's construction feels solid in the hands. Pricing starts at just $299 on a 2-year contract and will be featured in metal gray, silver, black, and gold, and at launch it will be a Verizon-only phone, but should expand to more carriers as time elapses. Both phones are great, and you cannot go wrong with either. Thank you guys so much for watching this comparison between the all-new HTC One, also known as the M8, to the original HTC One, also known as the M7. If you guys enjoyed this comparison, be sure to drop me a thumbs up down below as it truly helps the channel out a bunch, and while you're at it, throw me a comment down below telling me which device you'd like to go ahead and win. Finally, go and subscribe to the channel to be notified first when a brand new comparison or giveaway has been released. Thank you guys once again, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.